Today I want to show you guys how you can make one of those super catchy guitar beats for Roddy Ricch. I'm going to break down some very essential stuff for the guitar pattern, and I'm also going to show you guys some cool stuff you can do with the counter melody. With this, we'll also put some drums over at the end, where I'm going to show you guys some unique stuff you can do with the drum pattern as well. So let's not waste any more time, let's just jump straight to it. Alright, so we are here in FL Studio 21. First things first, obviously the guitar sound. In this case, I'm going to be using an acoustic guitar, so I've just chosen this picked acoustic guitar from Contact. As for the BPM, we're going to go up here and lower it to about 127, I think should be nice. And then we need to pick a scale. So for this one, I'm just going to start off with an A sharp minor. So the thing is with these Roddy Ricch guitar samples, we're seriously going to make a super simple and repetitive type of pattern. So I'm just going to focus on this first bar over here at first, and we're pretty much just going to repeat it over again with some slight changes here and there. So to start off with, since we're working in an A sharp minor scale, we're going to make an A sharp minor chord. So you're going to put your first note on the A sharp. Then we want to skip the first highlighted note. And the next one is going to go on this C sharp. Again, skip note and put one over here. We obviously want to change this up a little bit, so I'm going to invert this first one, and then we are going to strum them out in a repetitive type of pattern. We can actually lower the whole thing down by 1 octave so it's not so high pitched. And now we just want to add some filler notes to keep going with the pattern. So inside of the pattern, you really want to keep some of the notes super consistent. As you guys can see, we're using the C sharp twice, as well as the C6 and the F5 over here. We are literally just repeating notes inside of our guitar pattern. So now that we have this first pattern over here, we're just going to copy this over to the second part. And here's a super nice trick to really switch up the pattern. So you don't really want to switch the notes down or up like this. You just want to do some slight changes. So we're literally just going to pitch some of the notes up by 1 semitone, either up or down. So we're just pretty much flipping this pattern upside down. So you can hear it sounds very similar, but there's still just a little bit of that difference. So it's not the same thing repeating over and over again. You can obviously do some bigger changes like we did at the end over here, but this is pretty much just going to be the basis of our guitar pattern. Now to make this sound a little bit smoother, we're obviously going to play with the velocity down here. And we're also going to extend some of the notes just so it sounds a little bit more natural. So now that we have the first part of the guitar pattern down, we're just going to copy the whole thing over, but this time we're just going to pitch the whole thing up by 5 semitones. Now with this guitar, we also want to add some effects to make it sound a little bit more realistic. So to do exactly that, I'm starting off with the CLA guitars over here. I'm just using this acoustic shrunken preset. This is pretty much a go-to preset of mine when it comes to making realistic guitar samples. Then we also have this EQ, just cutting out some of the low end and adjusting a little bit of the high end as well. Just the J37 for some more saturation on the guitar. Then we have this Valhalla vintage verb, just using this spacious vocal preset. And lastly, we have this ozone imager just to widen out the guitar sound. So this is the guitar without any effects, and this is with the effects on. So you can really hear it makes a huge difference, and it makes the guitar sound way more realistic as well. Next up, I'm just going to add this vocal from Distant Voices. It's just going to be a little bit of a background layer to tuck in behind the guitar. So here I'm using this EQ to kind of tuck it back, like I said. To make the vocal a little bit more ambient, we're also adding some more room. Lastly, we're just panning it from left to right using this pancake plugin. Now we have two pretty essential parts down for the sample, but there's still a couple of things we need to add. The first thing we're going to add is going to be a sub bass. As for the bass, we're just going to open up this Scar B Rickenbacker bass in Contact, and we're going to lay down a nice sounding pattern. So we're just going to lay something super simple down like this. It's pretty much just repeating, but it's still following the root notes of the guitar. So to finish off the sample now, we want to add some more vocals, but this time we're going to add a vocal phrase that's going to be a little bit more present inside of the sample, so we can kind of switch up between the guitar and the vocals together. So now with the vocals from Spice, we have this. Alright, so the last thing I'm doing with the sample now is just playing a little bit around with the pitch. Kinda like it when it's pitched up by 1. Now let's add some drums. As for the drum sounds I'm using, they are of course coming from my Euphoria bundle kit. So if you guys like the sounds you hear, you can obviously check them out. It's on my website, it's BBMarko.com, or you can just click the first link down below. So we're just adding this rim for some more bounce. Now we need to get some movement, so I'm gonna add some hi-hats. Yeah, so I think we're gonna stick with something simple. This right here keeps the movement, keeps the bounce. There's just some rolls here and there. A bit of a perk as well. Guess I'm gonna add these snares as well. Really complement the hi-hats. Now I think it's time we add a kick in the 808. This right here is kind of hard. Kind of fish these up right here as well. I need to make a switch up on the second part though. Maybe we can actually just keep this a little bit more simple. Yeah, and then we have the roll for this part. Keep it like this. Let's just layer that with a kick as well. It's just a simple layer like this. Alright, so now I'm quickly just going to arrange the whole thing, and then I'll go through the whole arrangement with you guys and also share some cool tricks I did with the drum arrangement. Alright, so this right here is the final arrangement. Some unique stuff I did with the arrangement was actually some chops over here in the hook. Basically, since we have a nice snare roll and an 808 roll at the end, I just cut out all the different elements from the drums except from the snare, the kick, and the 808. Then over here in the verse, I also did a little bit of a cut, but this time I actually cut out every single element of the beat except for this small part of the vocal, which just plays twice right before the vocal starts over again. So it's kind of going to tease the vocal right before it starts. Then we also have a love filter over here on the bridge. If you guys don't know how to actually make this, you can just open up your mixer track, make sure you pick the insert where you have all the elements of the melody, and you're just going to open up a 3D love filter, and then you want to right click this one, select the simple triangle low pass, just adjust it a little bit, and it's going to sound super fire. So this is pretty much all the elements in the intro.
Shut up, Marko? Marko? Marko?
Then it drops to the hook. Here we have the background vocal. And the chop right here. Then we'll bring back the main vocal. Down a little bit for the verse. Here we have this cool chop over here on the first part of the verse. Yeah, that's fire. Really hear it mellows out all the sounds. Fades back into the hook.